Hi Flosstube! It is Tuesday, August 17th. I'm Helen D. Thank you for spending some time with me today. We might feel a little rushed today. I'm going to warn you right up front. We're in the middle of my mother-in-law's visit. They just went to tennis. I have an hour and 15 minutes to film, start uploading, get everything put away like nothing ever happened. So we should be fine. I'll try not to rush too much. I hope you're all doing well. We're fine. I was trying to think of what we had going on. Not too much. Last week was, since I've talked to you last, it was get ready for visit, and now it's visit. So we've been doing just a couple this and that things. Yesterday we went for a drive. We went to Fort Knox, which is up past Belfast, Maine, I believe. It's across the bridge from Bucksport. From here, it's like an hour and 45 minutes. And it's an old fort that you can explore. And my son was like, blah, 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 you know, preteens. He had the best time once we actually got there, exploring everything and all the nooks and crannies, and you needed a flashlight to get in some areas. So he really had a good time. My mother-in-law and I walked around, and then we found a stone in the shade. Just sat down. There was 1,000 stairs, and they were very steep, and it was hot. It's been hot and humid again. I know everyone this year has had weather that's not typical for them, and for us it's the hot and humid. Last week was extremely hot and humid. Yesterday was better, but after about your 300th stare, it was hot and humid. I got a little sun, not much, just a little bit, but I slather on the sunscreen because it does not take much for me. I'm all sweaty today, but it doesn't take much for me to turn into a lobster. So, stitching wise, a huge thank you to everyone for all the love for my Christmas ornament that's going to be in Just Cross Stitch magazine. I mentioned that last video, and everyone was so sweet. So that will be in the December issue, and I think they said it comes out at the end of October. So I'm keeping an eye out. Let's jump in. So I actually, last week, a couple of the days when it was so hot, I didn't want to do anything. No cleaning, no deep cleaning happened. Should have, but it didn't. So I went in the office where my husband was with the air conditioner, and I actually did a little bit of finishing. I finished 2 things, and then I was stitching a piece that my son wanted for his room, and I finished that. So I fully finished that too. So I actually have 3 fully finishes to show you. They're all frames, which are a quicker finish, I think. They just physically take less time. So they went together pretty quick. So we'll jump in with that. The first one is my son's. He wanted these cats. They're from not Minecraft. They are from Stardew Valley. So there's 9 little kitties. This is an 8x8 frame, so they're pretty small. They stitched up super fast. This was from Choco Coco Stitchery on Etsy. I've done one of her charts before. She had a Zelda one that I did. So that one is framed up. It's on some kind of light blue fabric that he picked out. Just don't want these to fly. This next one I've had done for a while and hadn't finished. I love how it came out. So this is called, I gotta go way back. It's called Here's the Skinny on Halloween, and it's by Heart and Hand, and I stitched mine on, I can't even tell what this is. This might be Ancient. I stitched it on something brown with the called for colors, and it comes with the little buttons. And it's long and skinny. It's not quite centered in here, but it will be okay. This is a metal piece that I had found. We have a salvage store the next town over. I'd had this in my closet for like 3 years and hadn't used it. And I'm like, well, that'll fit. So it had this piece of whatever on it that has a saying on the other side. So I just shoved that in there, and these are metal, so I was able to bend them over. And then I did some very classy jute twine so that I can hang it. So this one is done. This chart is still available. It's a little harder to find because it's an older chart, but you can still find it. I'll just pile all those in there. And then the other one I fully finished is Turkey Bay. This is Plum Street Turkey Bay. This one has no glass, so it doesn't matter where I hold it. This frame also came from that salvage shop. It's a little dinged up, but it was $2. So no complaints for $2. And it's one of those that was an open back. So I pinned it and laced it. And then I like to use these, they're called spring clips that you screw in there, and they kind of are bent, if you can see it. And they hold your piece in. And then if I wanted to use this frame for something else in a different season, I can just either loosen it, or sometimes I can just bend it just by my finger, pop this out and put something else in. And then I have these little clippies and some wire that I just screwed in there. So that one is done. I'll try not to knock this one over too. So that was my fully finishes that I can show you. The other one is I did do a little secret stitching for Barbie of Pedal Pusher, one of her market designs or expo designs. Expo, I believe, is 28th. It's the end of August. So she is going to be sharing those anytime, and I'll share them with you in a later video. So I finished that, and I fully finished it, and it went in the mail yesterday. On its way. Fully finishes. Yeah. I don't know. My acronyms now are like gone. I still have more things to show. I finished stitching 3 more things because I don't know if you remember, once I finished the gamer stitch along, my goal was just get as many whips off that pile as I possibly could. So I went in, the next thing on there was another stitch along, and I was almost done this last video, and it's Wizard of Oz. This is by Satsuma Street. That's the whole thing. And then, so each of these blocks was released, I can't see, differently. And then I finished the wizard. Mine is stitched on 14 count Ariel from Picture This Plus. So I don't know how I'm going to finish that yet. I had ironed that one, so I'm trying to keep it semi-straight. So that one was finished. So now I'm only down to 1 stitch along. Let's see if I can keep that up. I doubt it. I also then finished up, I had another berry going. This is Fall Bounty Berry from Erica Michaels. I think this is platinum, 32 count platinum Lugana. I changed the colors just to kind of a mix of what I had and what was called for. I just heard it pop. We canned some stewed tomatoes today, and that was the first one that popped. The little words are over 1. You could backstitch them if you wanted to do it on Ada. They're not charted as a backstitch, but I'm sure you could figure that out. So 1 more berry to add to my to be finished pile. Then I pulled out, this was a 2019, no, I think this was a 2020 whip. This is for the Nerd Wall, and it is 3 characters from the video game Final Fantasy, which I've never played, but I've seen played a lot. So there they are. So there's Tifa, Aerith. I had them done. I had to do red. So these are sold as separate charts from Needle Minder Lair, and I'll always link all these below. But I have Cloud and Sephiroth done, and I'm going to do them framed separate. And then I have a frame that will fit all 3 of these. So I thought I had spaced them out okay. But Red and Aerith ended up being a little far apart. But she's a magic user, so I threw in some magic sparkles in there, and John says it's okay. And it will have to be okay because I'm not ripping him out. So That one is ready to go, and that will just be in a frame. Those are my finished objects. Whips, I have 2 to show you. One which is almost done, and one which is pitiful. So we'll show you the pitiful one first, which is my last stitch along. This is the Zodiac Sal. There's my lion mane. That's it. I'm behind on this one. The lion, Leo, is July's release. August is already out. September will be out like this weekend because she usually releases them a little early. So I gotta catch up on this. Julie, Kansas City girl in a Colorado world, just started hers, and I was watching her video and I was like, oh, I gotta get that one back out. So thank you, Julie. Your lion's done, and mine is like, boop. I tried to work on him in the car. The ride up to Bucksport, part of it was on a nice road, and part of it was on this windy back road that was not stitching compatible. So that didn't happen. The other one that I'm working on, is almost done, is Hello Summer. This is by Primrose Cottage. Oh, Zodiac is by Tiny Modernist, and I'm stitching it on a solo die from Misty at Luminous Fiber Arts. This is on 28 count white. So it will say summer. The reason I didn't finish this and started another one is because I am really tight on that fabric and I wanted to make sure it would fit. But it will. So I need to finish 2 ice cream cones, and there's just like a smidge left to do kind of on the last one. So there's that. And that is all my whips. I'd say, oh, that's all I worked on. No, I worked on a lot. I worked on a lot of different things, and I actually got a lot, I think, a lot done. Part of that was because my son was at camp one of the weeks, and I took some time in the afternoons to have some time. It was the only week all summer I took some time. So that's what I have been working on. Next pile is the giveaway pile. Last video, let me mix up. Last video we had 2 giveaways that a viewer had sent in. We had apples, which is going to Joanna Groover, and gingerbread, and that's going to Linda Mosher. I will comment on your comment while this is uploading. So by the time you see this, I will have commented on your comment. And then for this video, I have 2 charts from Carla at Cobweb Corner, and I went with kind of fall Halloween theme. So I chose Ye Old Crow. This is Heart and Hand. I love this chart. If you'd like to stitch this one, say Crow. Please be over 18 so you can legally give me your address. Don't say giveaway, and I'd appreciate it if you were a subscriber. So this is Crow. And then the other one is Wicked Cute Berry. This is an Erica Michaels. So this comes with both charts. It has the berry, and then it has this one, which is just rectangular. And the little card that it's on that says buttons 10 cents, that's in there too. My neighbor's backing his truck in. So if you wanted to finish it on that card, it's like a piece of cardstock, you could. And it also comes with the 4 buttons that she uses on that. So that is all in this one package. And if you'd like to stitch this one, why don't you say which? And I should write that down. Stealing a pen and trying not to knock the camera over. And I won't spell those because you guys know I can't. So Witch and Crow. When I get charts for giveaways for you guys from Carla, she always sends a couple for me. I got the same one because you know I want to stitch all the berries. So I have this one. And then this is a newer chart from, it's a Nora Corbett. And it's called Evanora. I know Michelle Made Moose Mom stitched this already. It's a ton of black, but I just think it's so pretty and such a pretty silhouette. There were two actually. This one, the other one looks kind of like a Maleficent, I thought, because it has like the horns and everything. So I picked up this one. And it's not huge. 92 by 133. So it's solid black, but if I could outline it, that'd be great tennis stitching when I have to go back, not tonight. And then I actually have some purchases. And you're going to notice a trend in my purchases. So first of all, from Carla, I ordered, she had the bead pack for that chart. So I got the bead pack and a couple flosses that I needed. Then I picked up off eBay, I think, Secret Snowdrift. This is one of those trilogy charts that was originally sold as a kit, but I was able to get just the chart. I love these. I have a couple of them. I really need to stitch them. There's a turkey one that's adorable, but I don't have it yet. So I'm always keeping my eye out for that one. And then I usually don't have this many purchases. A lot of these, remember how I told you guys that I've been waiting on some things from 123 Stitch? They've finally started trickling in, and it was a few orders. Some of these go back to like mid-June. I did have to call on one thing, and I did find out they are switching their warehouse, their shipping, from Utah to Texas. So sometimes something you ordered was on the truck, and that's kind of what held it up. So, I mean, it's not like I'm gonna stitch these anytime. I just like to keep track of things. So, stitch all the berries. I wanna stitch all the berries. I bought all the berries. And I did notice Erica Michaels, Linda Stoltz, has been showing some previews for Expo. She has some cute berries coming up, and she used the hashtag Stitch All the Berries. So I looked at that, and there's not, she has a few things on it, and there might be like one or two others. I'm Stitch All the Berries. Hashtag Stitch All the Berries. So every time I finish one now, that's where it's gonna go. And that way I can, if you guys stitch them, I can see them. So this is hashtag Buy All the Berries. Sunshine Berry, Peacock Party Berry, and these are mostly the linen berries. Jingle Berry. Some of her charts that used to have, she used to do a linen berry and a silk gauze berry and sell them separately. She couldn't get the silk gauze anymore. So now she's combining them, and it's one chart pack that has both designs in them. So sometimes if you see them and you're kind of questioning, that's the reasoning behind. Bristol Berries 2. Summertime Berries. This is the one I bought this way back, and it just hadn't come in. It's not going to get stitched for this summer. And one more. And this might be my next obsession. I bought Stitch All the Pumpkins. So this is an Erica Michaels chart. It's called Stingy, Jack, and Friends. And it has all 5 of these pumpkin charts in them. And you stitch them on, you really just stitch the black, so they shouldn't take that long. And then you stitch them on like a bigger piece of fabric, and she has all the instructions on how to turn them into these little stand-up pumpkins. And they're adorable. So that finally came in. And I had some fabrics, which is why I had to tack the berries in when I needed different fabrics. So they're all in. I don't think I have anything outstanding. Now here comes the motorcycle. Summer with the windows open. In the winter, you get my heater, and in the summer, you get my neighbors. So that was what's been purchased around these parts. I am starting to see a lot of Expo full reveals. Like we were seeing teasers, and now I'm seeing full reveals, and there's some cute things. And I expected no less. I will once again tell myself, it's not going anywhere. You don't need to buy it all right when it comes out. Spread it out. Put it on your Christmas list. I'm sure there's going to be a couple things that I'll want to have right away. Maybe I can stitch them right away. I probably can't. I think I'm down to 12 whips, and I'd love to get that number under 10 by the end of the year. But I also know I'm going to end up starting some new things, so I'm trying to whittle down some of those things that are close-ish to a finish so that then I can start some new things. Plans for the next 2 weeks. We still have company. His sister comes in. We'll have company through this weekend, so there won't be a ton of stitching this week. Next week is our last week of vacation. School starts for us on August 30th. So I'll have a little more stitching time then, although usually that first week when school's in, I'm trying to get all the stuff done that didn't get done over the summer. So we'll see. Hello Summer will definitely get finished. Hopefully I can get the Zodiac at least July finished, and then I'll only be 2 months behind instead of 3. And the other piece I really want to work on in September is Raven. It's one of the Nora Corbett pixies, Bewitching Pixies, the Halloween pixies. I'm not half done, but I bet if I focused on that one, I'd love to have that one done by Halloween. So, and it's a 2019 whip, so that's one of my oldest whips. I'd love to cross that off my list. I'm all about crossing it off the list. Not that I mind having a lot of whips, but sometimes if they drag out for a lot of years, then I have to reassess. Do I want this still? Do I not want this still? I have my taste changed. So I'm really trying to get some of those whittled down. I think that's it. I hope you guys have a good couple of weeks. End of August. I know a lot of schools have already started. We'll get into all the fall stuff. I can't think of much else. I'm sure I'll think after I turn this off, but I will go upload and pick up, and they'll come back and it will be as if nothing had happened. All right, you guys. Bye.